you the quarterback? Are you the quarterback?
Hey, sports fans, Louis Diamond coming to you live from my Las Vegas handicapping studios, filling in for Brad Stein today, who can't be with us, but I will guide you to the path of glory. At least I hope so. Anyways, we certainly nailed it yesterday. Hopefully you joined us on our first show, and you followed us on our first show because we pretty much crushed it. So, and we're going to plan on crushing it here today. I am joined today by five fantastic handicappers. If I want to include myself, I guess. 4 fantastic handicappers. Del Warfield, Ross Benjamin, Tony Gullidge, and Chip Chirimbus, and they are going to guide you to the promised land here today. And we are looking to have another big day. Yesterday, we did crush it. Del came out strong with the Heat as a big winner, and that was his most interesting play of the day. So Del crushes it, and then Ross actually loses his big play of the day with the over Minnesota, had over 9.5. The game lands on 9. Tony drops his interesting play with Dallas and the Stars last night. But Chip comes in with the winner and the Minnesota Twins. And I had a nice solid winner with Cleveland and KC under. So 3 winners and 2 losers for the day on the most interesting play. But most importantly, we all agreed that the Toronto Blue Jays were going to cash the ticket for us. And they did. So hopefully you joined us and cashed that ticket. So let's get right down to today's action and find out where the tickets are going to be cashed. And we got college football today, guys. College football. Yes, we weren't sure if it was going to happen, and obviously it's going to happen in bits and pieces, which could be a good thing because we could get a good 12 months of college football out of this. So let's make some lemons out of some lemonade, or make some lemonade out of some lemons. Let's start with college football. Central Arkansas, and they are at UAB. The line opened up 14.5 up to 20 right now. All I can say is if you missed the party, I don't know if it's time to join the party. Total's 49.5 up from 47. Let's bring the guys on, see if anybody's got an opinion for us on today's game. I'm going to throw it right to you, Tony. What do you got for us?
Straight passing on this, man. I've looked at it pretty hard, but I really couldn't come up with anything. I'm just taking a straight pass on this game.
Who's got something? Anybody?
Nah.
Froze your off.
Tony. Tony, I was once told by a very wise man, don't ever bet on a team you can play for. And with these 2 clubs out there, we might be able to start anywhere we want.
That's what I would say about
that is awesome.
About the WNBA. I don't want to watch basketball when I think I can compete on the court. It's not as fun. Yeah. So same deal.
That is an awesome line. And welcome to the show, Chip Chirimbus. Way to open it up for us. On what seems to be a dud of a game, but really the sharp players don't see it as a dud. That line moved from 14.5 to 20. And but I will say this, they did play. I did a little bit of research. Back in 2016, and Central Arkansas actually beat them outright and scored 12 points in the 4th quarter. So they may use that as a little momentum going in. But obviously it's a game we all kind of want to stay away from. Let's get back to the next college football game, and that is going to be with USA versus USM. And is anybody bringing anything to the table on this? I gave us a little bit of a play on the dog. A couple of us jumped on the dog. I know it's the first day of college football, and we're starving for information, guys. But who's got something? Anybody?
I took a little bit of the South Alabama. I took the points, but it's just for fun, shits and giggles here. Nothing serious, just to get a little taste of action.
All right. I can see it definitely for fun. And if it's for fun, the over is always a great way to go. The total opened up 51 up to 54.5. You got two quarterbacks that have a chance to make something happen. Don't believe they have a supporting cast. And I don't believe USA is going to have the defense that is going to.
I agree. I think both offenses are capable. If you would take anything over, seems like a reasonable play because I think both offenses here are decent. You know, they're decent offensive teams. And no great defense. There's like neither team's a great defense, and they're okay offenses. But they do turn the ball over a lot. You got some turnover-prone teams playing. That makes it.
It's going to be some sloppy football.
Yeah, it's very sloppy.
It is scary. And you know it's scary when all five of us are kind of like the deer in the headlights right now on this game, not wondering what we should really do with it. But you certainly want to be a part of it because it is the beginning of college football season. And in my opinion, when you are in action on a lot of games, they don't have to be big bets, guys. But if you even put $10 on this game, you're going to learn something about what's going to happen in the future with these two teams. So don't just shy away from a game because it doesn't look great. Look for an edge that you feel you have. Put a little something on it and see if you were right on your edge. And those are ways that you can actually hone into your game a little bit. So college football, a little bit of a tough start for us. We won't let's just move over to the NBA where things seem to be a little bit more solid.
I have something to add.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Ross.
Go ahead, Chip. You go. Okay, yeah. I mean,
I want to say that early in the season, I rely so much on the newsletters that our competitors put out because they have information on there that might not be in the regular everyday newspaper. So I miss that because no one's getting the information at this time because of what's going on that we need to have a real solid opinion. So like you said, if you're going to play the game, $10 is about all it's worth unless you really have some kind of edge that we're not aware of.
Yeah, I
hear you.
Chip, I'm looking at a program in South Alabama that's lost 15 in a row on the road, and they've scored 17 points or less in 11 of those 15 games. So the good news is they got a lot of experience returning. The bad news is a lot of experience returning from a lot of unsuccess. Yeah. You know, and then the other side of the coin is you got a team that's won 9 of their last 10 at home. Here's the thing, guys, and I always tell this to my anybody who will listen. Just because a game's on a Thursday night or a Monday night, I always say if that game you took it and put it on a Saturday with 70 other college games, meaning this one, would you use it? Or are you going to be a degenerate and play everything on the board? You know, no offense to anybody with a $10 bet. It's just my mindset for what it's worth.
Or degenerates.
Well, it's not that I wouldn't disagree with that, Ross. Listen, we all started out as kind of degenerates, and we had to pretty much learn our way through the wet paper bag that we're playing in. So a lot of mistakes made along the way, and the way I kind of see it is I got a lot more in the future, so I try to keep them small, but I got to keep my nose in the game, and I got to follow everything that's going on. So I know value when I do see that value. And I believe I got a pretty good smell of that. And so with that, I'll segue back into NBA. Anybody else got anything else on this college game before we go to the NBA?
Nothing.
All right, so let's get right to the NBA where Dell crushes it with the Miami Heat last night. I gave you a nice solid Bengals with the City Thunder. So let's see if we can relive the magic with the NBA, and we'll start with that first game on the board. The Toronto Raptors are at the Boston Celtics in the bubble, and Toronto opens up or at maybe plus a half, and now they're up to a 2-point favorite. Total goes from 215 to 216 and a half, and it's pretty much do or die right now for these Raptors. And Dell, are they going to do or are they going to die?
I mean, I want to take the Raptors here, but I think a better player probably be the over for this one. Too hard for a side. I mean, Celtics got the talent there. Raptors, they got a little bit more cohesion and stuff, but I'd rather just take a side. I'm sorry, I'd rather just take the total. I'd rather go over for this game.
All right, a little bit of over. Anybody else got something they're really feeling good about on this game?
I like the Raptors here. I just watched the guard shooting the first couple games. The two guards, Van Fleet and the other little Lowry, not making any shots, nothing dropping. I mean, literally, 3 of 16 in game one, come back maybe 4 of 20 game two. And they're really right there at the end of the game. I mean, it's not, especially game two, it's not like they're being blown out with no offense. I mean, no guys are hitting any shots, but you can tell the intensity of these games are definitely picking up. There's teams are getting a little chippy. Like the last minute of that game last night, Oklahoma City, Houston, they're pretty much letting them bang like it was the 1990s until they call some cheap fouls in the last second. It was kind of weird, trench warfare, and then all of a sudden, if you touch somebody, they call a foul. But
That's
for
crazy.
me, I'm going to try the Raptors here. I think a few shots are going to fall tonight. They're somehow going to get in here and get a win. The line basically Toronto by about
Chip,
5
Ross?
or 6.
All right,
I have
thank you,
an
Tony.
opinion on it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chip.
I've been riding the Celtics all along. They've won 10 of 11 straight up, and they've won 5 in a row against the number right here. And I don't see any reason to go against them. They're 21-8 against the points as underdogs. Toronto, of course, has some great numbers on their side as well. But the numbers, I think the number of only being one, is sort of telling you that this is, like he said, this is a dogfight coming right down to the end. And it just looks like things are going Boston's way right now. It would appear that in a situation like this, most people in the handicapping situation say you really should play Toronto, because if they don't come back here, it doesn't look like they have a shot in the entire series. But, I'm like the Antichrist when it comes to this. I like to play against the public sentiment, or what looks like the side that's supposed to be. So I'll play against Boston tonight. I mean, I'll play with Boston tonight and against the Raptors.
All right, Chip. Yeah, I gotta agree with you a little bit there. I'm a little favoring towards Boston, but I've been on Boston at 10-1 from the beginning. So that's probably a little bit of my heart playing there, because they'll really take a serious advantage if they can capitalize tonight. Ross, you got anything on the game before we move on?
Yeah, I might pass on this game only because you guys make sense, and Chipper's right. I'm sort of the same mindset. When it looks too good to be, and most times it is in sports betting. And styles make fights. I'm starting to wonder, does Boston just have Toronto's number, Lou? You're
That's
looking
true,
at
too.
6 meetings this year, including the regular season. Boston's 5-1 in those meetings, and they've held them
dominating.
like somewhere around 100
Very
points.
physical on those guards, man. Very physical.
Yeah, they've owned them. They've had their way. They match up well against them.
With the physical part of the Boston, they really pushed them around, got them off their spots, and it's obvious when you watch it. But just to me, the fact that Toronto is able just to even be close in hailing range is like, just if it can get any coaching here, can the coach make one adjustment that can get them over the hump? Yeah, this is it. Brad Stevens is a great coach. It's do or die. Obviously, if Boston wins, this series is over. So,
all right. So
that's the way I
so
look
looks
at
like we're kind of all in a lean agreement towards the Boston Celtics. Chip seems to be on them. Seems to see that's where his money is a little bit tonight. So I'd be a little leery of the Toronto Raptors then. So let's move on to the next game, where now Denver comes in after a big Game 7 against a formidable foe that'll probably have their way with them in the LA Clippers. And the Clippers open up a 9-point favorite. The total is up to 220, or down to 220, up to 224 from 223. So Clippers opened up 5.5. So early steam. I think everybody the wise guys pretty much felt that after the Game 7 and playing a big opponent, it's probably not going to be a good night for the Nuggets. Anybody disagree?
I don't have any problem.
All right, so who's got the Nuggets? I mean, who's got the Clippers tonight? Anybody? Hey, there he is, Dell. All right, what do we got here?
I'm going opposite. I'm going with the dogs. We're going with the Nuggets.
Oh, you're taking the dog. All right. Well,
I'll
tell us
take
why.
I'll take the points too. If you're gonna make me take a play here, I would take the 8.5. Just because they're in a flow a little bit better than the Clippers right now. But I think the Clippers are going to take this series ultimately. The lack of good defense from Denver, I just don't see how you keep winning when you can't clamp down when you need to. And that's what I see. When I see like the Denver, the Dallas, I see a lot of the Portlands, half these teams, when it gets right down to the end of the game, they can't stop people. Whereas you see the teams like the Lakers, the better teams, when it gets into the 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and down, each possession matters. You have to be able to make a stop. And that's what separates these teams. Who can make the stop? Everybody can make shots. You got great shot makers all over the court. Every player on the floor can make a wide open shot. But who can prevent the basket is going to give you your champion.
All right, Dell, what do you got?
Like I said, I'm on the Nuggets. I'm taking the points. That money line at 330 looks a little bit juicy too. But like I said, I definitely think the Clippers are going to take this series. But definitely worth taking the points here. Game 1, a lot of actions coming in on the Clippers. It's just a pretty good bet in my eyes. Just take the points, be safe, and ride for the dogs today.
All right, so Dell's grabbing the points here today, riding the dog, looking for a big bark, and we will keep an eye on that. And Dell has obviously nailed it. Let's see if he nails it tonight. I am not a Clipper backer tonight. It looks like the board here is telling you got to grab the dog. So right now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be back with our man on the street, Tony C., live down in Texas to give us a little update on Saturday's college football game.
Brad Stein here, live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for BettorCenter Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. BettorCenter Live.
All right, and we are back, and I'm not sure if Tony, the man on the street, is quite ready yet, but they'll get in my ear when he is. So until we have Tony ready, let's get into some baseball. But before I do, I need to let you know, if you want to get our picks as they happen in real time, watch this show live every day, please subscribe to us here at my YouTube channel. I'm on YouTube under Louis Diamond. So youtube.com/Louis Diamond. And subscribe to us. You'll get our action live as it happens. And apparently, according to yesterday, you'd be foolish to miss. So, all right, with that being said, let's get ourselves into baseball today. We got our short Thursday baseball schedule. But hold on, our man on the street is here. So let's go live to Tony C. down in Texas. Tony, what do you got in college football here this weekend?
All right, crew, and good morning to you all, Lewis. Well, first I just want to start off with you guys. I'm sure you're very well aware of it. Quickly, a brief moment here. We lost one of the greatest handicappers ever to set foot on Las Vegas soil. Stanley B. Uva passed away on September the 1st of, heart complications, but he was probably one of the greatest handicappers, especially on horses, to set foot in the Las Vegas area, probably next to Frank Lefty Rosenthal and Jimmy the Greek Snyder. So with that, our condolences go out to his family in Boston and Miami. Now, as far as today's business, I am at Texas State University here, Bobcat Stadium, as you can see behind me here, and some of the kids are out there running around. Texas State University, San Marcos, Texas. We've got a big game here on Saturday, the American Athletic Conference, AAC conference here. SMU comes to town as a 22-point favorite. I did speak with some of the coaches here at Texas State. We're looking at they've got a run game in plan here to kind of slow down and kind of control the clock here against SMU. The reason I bring that up with you guys is because obviously the over and under is 70.5. That's the current line, and about 48 hours ago, maybe 72 hours ago, that line was over and under 70. So we see it's ticking up. But for everyone at BettorCenter there, I really like the under in this game. We've got a running game planned here with the Texas State Bobcats. Also, we've got a new quarterback transfer from Memphis. Brady McBride is going to be the quarterback for Texas State as he takes over for the incumbent. So he beat him out here in the, I guess you could say summer training camp, summer workout. But just to throw another 2 cents into this game, I think you're going to see you're not going to see all of the Pistons, cylinders clicking, if that makes any sense. So you're going to see a lot of rusty football here, missed passes, missed catches. I mean, this is the first game. It's obviously, behind schedule. And with everything that's been going on, obviously with the coronavirus and COVID-19, just to throw one other quick note in around the college football scene, a topic obviously is hopefully the president has met with the Big Ten Conference athletic director. Let's see what's going to happen there. Hopefully we will have some more college football on the board. But with that, I'll throw it back to you, Lewis, and the guys back at the studio. Your thoughts on this game? I really love the under here at Texas State this Saturday. SMU, again, a 22-point favorite. That one there, that's a tough call. Like you said earlier, any team that you could play for, you don't want to bet the side on them. And I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Back to you, Lou. What do you think? Over, under?
All right, Tony. Now, listen, I got to agree with you. If the coach is telling you that his game is to run the ball, to keep that offense and that powerful team off the field, I got to agree with the under on such a high number. I guess the question is will they be able to run the ball? We'll find out more for that one on Saturday, and we'll get a little bit more in-depth on that game on Saturday as well. So now let's get over to the diamond and baseball. It's happening every day, whether we like it or not, but usually we like it. So we got the Cubs and the Pirates. And in this matchup, now the Cubs come in $1.65 favorite. We got a total of 8.5. A total of 9.5. Yesterday, we squeaked an over on this game, and I believe a few of us agreed on this play to go over, and we got you a nice little winner. So anybody got anything here on the Cubs and the Pirates? Nothing on the Cubs and the Pirates.
Nothing.
So I would say, that being said, Cubs will have some value inside a parlay against this team, and I still see the over having value in this series. So one thing about baseball, I'm not afraid to ride the same thing throughout the whole times. I don't care who the pitcher is. So very unorthodox for most gamblers, but not for me. So next game on is going to match up the Texas Rangers, and they are at the Houston Astros. The Astros have truly owned this team, and I expect that to continue again here today. The under's gone 6 out of the last 7, and Houston has won 8 out of the last 9. And I see that to continue as well. I will look for Houston in a parlay, possibly with the Cubs. And the total half on this game. Do we have any takers on this game?
Look,
Houston and
Loaded. You've got 2 great hurlers going today. You got Lance Lynn, who's having a great season, more or less a comeback year, going against Greinke, I believe, is for Houston. So nobody's hit either of these guys the entire year. Greinke's having a ball because there's no one in attendance. He doesn't get nervous when he sees cardboard cutouts in the stands. So if I was to play this game, and like you said, Houston's dominated the series, but if I was to play it, I'd have to play the under because of the starting pitching. And hopefully the Rangers bullpen doesn't blow up at the end. But with Lance Lynn, the way he's throwing, and Greinke with the consistency he's had this season, I think that's my first thought about the game. Not that I'm a totals guy, but that's the way I would play this one.
Nice. I'm a totals guy, and I see a little bit of value in the under. Greinke's been an under pitcher. Lance Lynn, I'm not a favor. I don't like to bet him under too much, so that scares me a little bit. But he is 4-4 this year, so he's been middle of the road on the far as the totals. And we got a little bit of an edge for the under here.
He's had a great year as far as giving up hits and innings pitched. He hasn't had much support with the Rangers.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take a shot with the underdog. I'm going to take Texas in this game. I think Lynn's pitched well enough. I kind of agree with Chip. My mentality in taking Texas is kind of flows into the under, although I'm not betting under. Low scoring, good pitching, low scoring, tight game. And then it's the kind of game I think Texas could pull off here. Very sound. I think last night was 2-1. Houston won. So similar type game here. Texas pulls it out at the end, and you get a big bonus for taking Texas. Percentage wise, if I hit it 40% of the time, I'm going to make a few bucks. So I'm going to try it. I'll take Texas in this spot. I think it's a good spot to play Texas, and it goes into that I don't know, just of these two games.
You like
I say,
the
these
dog.
two pitchers.
You like the dog.
Yeah,
You
I
see
like
value in the dog.
Here. Good spot. Take the dog. Take the dog here.
All right. So we got a little bit of dog action from Tony. We got a little bit of dog action from Chip Game. I'm only seeing a little bit of parlay action. I'm really not. In fact, these guys are kind of talking me off a little bit, but Houston's had their way versus this team. All right. So next game on the schedule, we got the Nats and we got the Phillies. I honestly don't see too much in this. The Phillies have done well recently. The Nats pretty much own them. The under has been a trend, 8-2 and 3 to the under. Any takers on this game?
Yeah, I like the run line in this game. I like Philly as right now. They're red hot. They've won their last 3, 8 of their last 9. This is a Washington team against right-handed starting pitchers this year, 4-20, by the way. And also Philly within this money line parameter this year of minus 125 to 175 at home. They're a perfect 9-0, winning by 3.8 points or 3.8 runs per game. Anibal Sanchez has struggled this year. Eflin will give them enough, and this is a Philly team that shut out Washington in each of the last 2 games. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 here and get a little more value rather than play the money line with Philly here.
Very good. I like that, Ross.
In my ear, I hear my grandfather saying, bet against the sweep. But I agree with Ross here that they're just a terrible team. I think the run line is a good way to try to play this. That way, if you lose, you're not getting scalded on some huge chalk. It's kind of almost like an insurance against a huge loss. I use that strategy too, where I can't lay minus 175, minus 200. I'll try to get the run line somewhere close to even.
I don't like laying either, but I don't like wasting them. I don't like wasting them either. I believe that these favorites, not every $2 a favorite is a winner. But, man, there are some strong winners within those $2 favorites. And if you tie 2 of them up together, it very easily is worthy of one solid play. And what you're really doing is you're kind of taking the gamble out of gambling. You're just going for that high percentage winner, and you're tying it up a little bit more in a parlay. That's how I'm going to look at the favorites. So, that are $1.50 or more. But usually it's going to be the closer to the $2 or the $3 favorite that's going to get you that comfort zone of knowing you got the lock, so to speak, to tie into your parlay. So
yeah, that's the way I hear that all the time. When I see minus 200, my mind immediately says I got to hit 67% of these to break even, and I can't.
Yeah, there's no beating it straight up.
My head just goes, I can't do it. It's
if they are beating it straight up, if somebody's beating it straight up, they're a math guru and they're keeping it awfully quiet. So, I have my mathematical limitations, and usually it's from my damn memory. So, but I watched a lot of games over the last 3 years.
I'd be a little leery because Major League Baseball, the only leeriness I have is what goes up must come down, right? Major League Baseball money line favorites yesterday were 10-2. For what it's worth. And favorites been cashing at an abnormally high rate this year, guys.
Yeah.
If you're an underdog player,
I have to fight. These kind of years, I'm grinding. That's the way this short season's been for me so far in baseball. I'm just grinding it out, trying to pick my spots, trying to hit my best bets, and then just trying to pick spots here and there. Yeah, it's definitely not been easy for me personally. And because I don't play those chalk teams, and a lot of them are winning. So I'm basically trying to avoid stepping in, taking too many dogs right now. So it gets harder when all the chalk is winning.
Well, so that's why I just try to keep myself open to anything and everything. I think the mind is like the parachute; it only works when it's open. So you need to really look at everything. I really very little things do I discount in everything, every part of the world. I leave it up to me to make the decision based upon me doing my homework. So, but that being said, listen, we're running out of some time here. We got a few games left. So what I really want to do right now is give me what you got here today. Yeah, let's just get right to the most interesting game of the day, guys. And let me see what you like. Help everybody make a little bit of money here today. I'm going to start right with you, Dell. Give me what you got here today. What are you liking?
All right, so for my most interesting play, we already went over it for the NBA. Nuggets plus 8.5 points. Take the points, be safe, enjoy the game, and let's go Nuggets.
All righty. Tony, what do you got here today for your most interesting play of the day?
It's going to be my MLB best bet play. I'm going to take the White Sox after dropping 2 straight to come back and get a win against Kansas City today. That's my best bet and my most interesting play of the day.
All right. I like it. I like it a lot. Chip, give me some money here, buddy.
Well, I got an interesting game because of the line when I see 2 New York teams playing, the Yankees, and it's virtually a pick 'em. And this Yankee team is decimated. They have 4 players that are hitting 213 or under that are starters. 3 of them under 200, including Gary Sanchez, who's at 130. The Yankee lineup is decimated. Injuries have just plagued this team between Stanton and Judge. The Yankees, the Mets are starting Gelderman, who I'm not a big fan of at all. He had a pretty good outing last time out. But the fact that this line is a pick 'em, they're just telling you the Yankees are hurting so bad. I'm going to take a shot with the Mets. And the Mets are terrible. Believe me, the Mets stink. I'm going to take a shot with the Mets in this game because that line just tells me that the Yanks are hurting so much.
All right. So we got a little bit of the Mets from Chipper. All right, Ross. All right. What are we looking at today? Where am I putting my money? If you're telling me what I got to do today, where's the money going?
I agree with Tony. You look, Chicago's minus the White Sox, that is, minus 132 before I came on the air. They lose their last 2. I think if that doesn't happen, they're probably around 145 or 150. So it sounds like an oxymoron, but you're grabbing a little more value on the White Sox because they lost the last 2. And, they're facing a lefty today, Danny Duffy. The Chicago White Sox are 11-0 this year against left-handed starting pitching. So, and they're also
love that stat.
That's a good number. Good number. I like that number.
And despite the 2 losses to Minnesota the last 2 days, they're 11-6 on the road too. And Kansas City can't hit their way out of a paper bag. I like the White Sox here. Minus the 1.
All right, that's some solid stuff there, Ross. Making me bite. I'm telling you, you guys are all kind of making me bite on that one a little bit. That game has gone over 7-2-1. So when in the matchup, so they have a history of going over. But like you said, to bet on Kansas City when they can't hit themselves out of a paper bag. So my most interesting play of the day is going with the Padres and the Angels. And I will be playing that one over. And unfortunately, we ran out of time yesterday. I did plan on giving you that one yesterday as well, but I'm making sure you don't miss it today. 2 solid over teams this year so far, and both of them on serious overruns. And there's just no way you just can't just ride this play over. 23-13 to the over for the Angels. 21-17 to the over for the Padres, 14-5 at home to the over for the Angels. And I definitely see this play as a nice solid 4 out of 5 have gone over. I look for 5 out of 6 to go over with the Padres and the Angels today. And your total is 8.5. So I think we got some value there. So guys, I appreciate you joining me here today. We got some nice picks out there. Thank you, Tony, for joining us out there down in Texas live, giving us a little update on some college football. Tony will be joining us all around the country throughout the season. getting us the scoop. And R.I.P. Stanley Uva. You will be missed out here on this realm. We look forward to meeting you in the next. This is Louis Diamond. I appreciate you joining us on BettorCenter. Don't forget, click below to subscribe to us so you can get our plays as soon as they get off the press. This is Louis Diamond. This is BettorCenter Live. I'll see you tomorrow.